Hey everyone, and welcome back to Best of the Best Movie, the podcast where we figure out once and for all which movie is the best movie. And we do that by taking the 28 best movies and putting them in a bracket tournament until there's one best movie left. I'm Brett, I'm joined by Dustin and Dylan.
Yay!
And Dustin, have you guys seen any movies recently? Non-tournament related?
I've been watching because I have DC Universe, and so
you watch Iron Man 2?
I like Iron Man 2. I've been watching the DC animated movie universe. So I've seen 3 of them so far. It's like popcorn.
He's asking about real movies.
Fuck off.
Not animated pieces of crap.
They are film.
I'm talking real movies. I'm talking real movies like Trolls World Tour or Scoob.
Yeah, I'm sorry I didn't watch Scoob 7 times.
Who watched Scoob 7 times?
Huh?
Who watched Scoob 7 times? Is that Brett?
Someone did. I found 7 used Scoob DVDs. So someone used them.
Oh, this movie went straight to DVD.
They had scruff all over them. Dylan, did you watch any movies?
No.
So then why are you attacking me? You didn't even watch anything.
At least he didn't watch a real movie.
Are you okay? You having a heart attack?
Well, I guess Dustin also didn't watch a real movie.
We're on par.
Hey, to be fair, if it's a real movie, you would have said a goddamn title. Instead, you're just like, I saw 3 of these movies that are on this thing.
True.
I started talking about them, and you started interrupting me, calling me, saying that they're not real
If
movies.
they were a real movie, you would have stuck up for
Justice
them.
League.
No, it's too late.
Justice
It's too
League.
late.
Throne of Atlantis.
It's too late.
That's not a real title.
These are real titles. Justice League, Flashpoint, Paradox.
The only Justice League me is the Snyder Cut, baby.
No Justice
Are
League.
you gonna
because it
get?
doesn't
Are you gonna
exist.
get HBO Max?
Yeah, in a year.
Not that anyone asked, but I saw Jojo Rabbit for the first time.
Oh, what'd you think?
That was okay. I thought it was okay. I thought it was good.
Cry?
I did not cry, but I
Doesn't think Nazis were sad.
No, their plight was a real one.
don't know. I guess I don't want to get into spoilers, but it was good. It was good, I guess.
Sad the Nazis didn't win this time. I thought this time would be different.
Yeah.
You thought I was going to do a reverse Inglourious Bastards?
No, this is in the trailer, but I honestly didn't get why he had an imaginary Hitler friend. Like, it didn't seem to play a crucial point in the plot. It was just like this side thing, like, oh yeah, he also has his imaginary friend's Hitler. It didn't really play, like, it seemed like there was a plot and the Hitler thing was a B plot.
I guess he wasn't really a plot device. He was just like a manifestation of his, Nazism, and like it was a huge part of the character's arc.
But I guess they could have shown that he had this kid has an extreme love for being a Nazi without showing an imaginary. I think the imaginary Hitler was just for comedic effect, which is obviously he's very funny, but I don't know.
You heard it first. Hitler's funny.
Here we go. Hitler. Can we quote you on that? Can we get that a quote?
Yeah, put it on what? My tombstone?
Reductress. We're gonna go straight to Reductress and Vox.
Put it in my will, baby.
Reductress.
It's a website. Look it up.
What does it do?
They publish like articles for bitches.
Why would Vox do an article on me?
Because you're getting canceled.
Oh no. That sucks. Should we get into the
Sorry.
Should we get into the tournament?
Yeah.
Before we do, let's say if we were in some alternate universe where, I don't know, Dylan's ugly and Dustin's funny. Sorry.
Was that a compliment?
You complimented him, you negged me.
Sorry, I didn't know why I roasted you out of nowhere.
Oh yeah. An alternate universe where you're a good friend. I get it.
Where Dustin has a blue hat.
Thank you, Doug.
Then you'd be funny. Then we'd be like, whoa, have you seen his hat? It's blue.
It's his number one dad.
By the way, Dustin, are you doing a gender reveal right now?
If so, you spoiled.
Yeah, I'm doing a gender reveal.
You're having
What do you think it is?
You're having a girl?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm going to name her Brett.
Okay.
So I can beat the
That
shit
is
out of her.
Jeez.
Is that a girl's name?
Yeah.
Brett is a girl's name.
I've never heard that.
I feel like it made the
Dude
transition.
with a girl's name.
Dude. There's girl Dylans. What are you talking about?
Oh man, that's right, Drew Barrymore. Charlie's Angels.
Oh. Okay, in some alternate universe where instead of using the MTV Movie Awards, we use the Oscars, this week we would have been talking about Chicago versus Moonlight. What are your opinions on Chicago versus Moonlight?
I've never seen Chicago.
I've never seen Moonlight. We would make a great couple.
I love both of those movies.
I saw Moonlight. I thought it was okay.
I saw Chicago and I loved it, so my pick would be for Chicago. That movie's a blast. I don't care what you say, Dustin. That movie's awesome.
No, I'd probably end up picking Chicago. It'd be a funner watch.
Yeah. Remember the pew, pew.
Yeah, I don't remember any dancing or singing in Moonlight.
They go Roxanne, Roxanne. Major spoilers for Chicago.
We had it coming.
Oh yeah, they do a cover of it on Glee, so that's how you know it's good. But let's get into this real universe.
The boring one.
They do 2 Chicago songs in Glee.
What? Which ones?
Mr. Cellophane.
They did. When did they do that?
I don't know when.
What's his name?
Kurt?
Kurt does a cover of it for his audition. Mr. Cellophane.
That's
you
fun.
look right through me.
All right. Well, let's get into crying the MTV Awards itself. Let's go with the first one. 2002 MTV Movie Awards.
This is the one I remember.
Which I have to say, if we were doing a bracket of the best movie award ceremonies, this would be on the top, like, by far. This is my favorite movie awards. Dylan says he remembers it. I remember it. Not only do I remember it, but when this aired, I taped it onto VHS and I used to rewatch it over and over. I love this awards show.
It's the Jack Black one, right?
This was hosted by Jack Black, and you are sexist because it was hosted by Jack Black and Sarah Michelle Gellar. But hey, Dylan only remembers the white guy, so I guess that's how it goes.
I thought she died.
During the show?
So we can't mention her.
So, this opens with one of the best, them putting the hosts into the movies ever. With it puts Jack Black and Sarah Michelle Gellar into Spider-Man. And so basically Tobey Maguire gets bit by a Jack Black spider and turns into Jack Black. And it's very funny. It's really well done.
He webs out his butt, right? He shoots web out of his butt?
No.
Right? What?
No.
That was Dylan's name.
There's a part
where fan fiction of the 2002.
There's a part where he sees Sarah Michelle Gellar as Mary Jane, and the obvious joke where he goes, and then spiderweb comes out. So it's almost like he came it, not it came out of his butt. I don't know where this whole butt stuff came from.
I thought you could come out your butt.
Dylan.
Sorry.
My favorite part of this, though, is when he's like learning that he's Spider-Man and he looks at his hands and he goes, they're so hairy and sticky. Nothing changed there. That part made me laugh a lot. And then, actually, there's an even funnier part where he's on top of the building dressed as Spider-Man and it cuts to the movie and the girl goes, it's like the house is on fire, and she goes, my baby's in there. Somebody save my baby. Jack Black just goes, nope, and then goes the other way. It was very funny.
You love it. Love to see it.
Yeah, you should watch it. The whole thing's on YouTube. It's very bad VHS quality, but hey, it's worth a watch. So they go from that perfection to one of the best opening I guess monologues you would call it, but it's a song. One of the best songs ever. It's Jack Black and Sarah Michelle Gellar. Remember that, Dylan? They're singing the song "Movies Kick Ass," and I love this song. They talk about references from the movies. It's really well done. I absolutely love this opening song.
He plays the snippet.
I know he goes, "Movies kick ass." There's a really sad part now where they do throw to some celebrities in the audience, and Brittany Murphy's one of them. A rip for Brittany Murphy. But then there's a super funny part where rewatching this, I almost cried laughing, where Brittany Murphy's singing, and she's like, "Don't take it from me, take it from Tom Cruise." And Andy Dick stands up, and it's just like Tom Cruise didn't want to sing. And I don't know why. It was really funny to me. And so Andy Dick was singing Tom Cruise's part.
That's really cool.
Because I really thought Tom Cruise was going to be there. So.
And one of them he is, which maybe we'll be talking about soon.
Yeah. Sorry to keep talking about this award show, but they also have a Lord of the Rings part where they put themselves into Lord of the Rings. It's the part where, they're... what do you call that group meeting when everyone's discussing what to do with this ring?
Oh, where the memes come from.
Yeah, but the joke is that Jack Black is some elf or thing, and he pierced it to his penis, and so everyone's disgusted with him that he pierced it to his penis.
Nice.
Love
it. A little bit of shaming, but whatever.
It's kind of dumb, but it's pretty funny. And then
pretty funny.
It's kind of dumb, but it's pretty funny. And then there's another great one where Jack Black is backstage and he's looking for Jodie Foster to present the next award, and Will Ferrell's there to help him. And he's like, "I actually know Jodie Foster. Let's go to her house." And it's a great Panic Room parody kind of thing where they're just trying to get her to host it, and she's very scared. Which
Does one of them get cornrows like Jared
They
Leto?
both do. They both get cornrows.
I thought I remembered that.
And Jack Black says, "Thanks for doing that on the plane for me." And then Will Ferrell just kind of looks at him and goes, "It's funny. They do look like little cornrows." It was really weird.
I wonder who wrote these.
I don't know. It's not on the Wikipedia because they were really funny. In Tidbit, Kristen Stewart was in Panic Room.
Yeah.
So get used to seeing her at the MTV Movie Awards. I'll tell you that much right now. But it was really funny, though. That bit did end with a big fart joke. But who cares? Moving on. The musical performancers were Jack Black and Sarah Michelle Gellar. I don't need to say that.
Not Tenacious D.
The performers were the White Stripes. They sang "Fell in Love with a Girl" and "Dead Leaves in the Dirty Ground." I don't know that song.
I don't know it either.
But I guess it was a mashup. Eminem sang one of the most popular songs at the time, "Without Me." And then one of the stars that this was her start, and we just haven't gotten rid of her. Like, she's stuck around. Like, she's on posters. Kelly Osbourne sang "Papa Don't Preach."
Oh, I remember that.
It was weird because
clever.
I don't know what's Ozzy Osbourne's son, Jack?
Jack.
He was just like in the audience with like a little camera filming her, and then he like walked on stage and continued to film her. I didn't know what the bit was there, but
wait, when you say get used or that she's gonna stick around,
he was making fun of the fact that she's not here around. That like no one cares about her.
Oh, okay. Well, let me get into the awards. There was a fun fact about this. This was the first time that they gave awards for favorite line, best cameo, best dressed, and best music moment. Though they did not appear in the show. I don't know what that means.
Oh, they did it all, like the technical awards for the
I didn't know the MTV Movie Awards is doing that.
For the Oscars, I mean.
Yeah. Okay, so best new filmmaker. There's no nominees. There's just one winner. That went to Christopher Nolan for Memento.
Wow.
Too bad he went nowhere.
Won't see him again after that.
Best dressed was Reese Witherspoon for Legally Blonde.
Okay.
Beating out two people from Zoolander, which is all about being good dressed.
Wow.
Best cameo.
So it's messed up.
Best cameo went to Snoop Dogg for Training Day.
Oh, that's right.
He's in the wheelchair.
Okay, so best line. Let's play a little game. I'm going to read the line. You tell me what movie it's from.
Okay.
Easy.
Oh, I like your outfit too. Except when I dressed up as a friggin' bitch, I try not to look so constipated.
Was that Legally Blonde?
That's Legally Blonde. Good job. Dude, that quote beat out some like some big ones. I mean, it beat out King Kong Ain't Got Nothing on Me from Training Day.
Oh.
It beat out It's Already Been Brun from Not Another Teen Movie.
Oh, man.
It also beat out There's More to Life Than Just Being Really, Really, Really Ridiculously Good Looking from Zoolander, which I think are some big quotes from that year.
Did it also beat out That's Gonna Stain? Another teen movie.
If we were picking the winners, it would all be Not Another Teen Movie.
Yeah. Oh, if that was the year, then yeah, that wins everything.
Okay, so best fight went to Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker versus the Hong Kong Gang in Rush Hour 2.
Okay.
Beating out Jet Li versus himself from The One.
What?
Oh no.
I know.
What?
Justin loves that movie.
That movie's kind of good. Like
That movie's crazy. I've never seen it.
Okay, best musical sequence went to Nicole Kidman and Ewan McGregor for Elephant Love Medley from Moulin Rouge.
Yeah. Okay.
They also beat out Moulin Rouge.
Oh,
The song Moulin Rouge.
No, they were just nominated a couple times for best musical sequence. Best action sequence went to the attack scene from Pearl Harbor. One of the few awards.
hey, at least something good came out of that that event.
Best kiss.
One was like, this will be an award.
Best kiss went to Jason Biggs and Sean William Scott for American Pie 2.
Oh yeah, baby.
All right.
The other winners I don't really remember, other than Mia Kirshner and Beverly Polson, which was from Not Another Teen Movie when the girl made out with that really old lady.
From they're making fun of
Yeah.
Cruel Intentions. Okay.
Best comedic performance went to Reese Witherspoon for Legally Blonde. This was a shock to me, beating out both Mike Myers and Eddie Murphy for Shrek. I mean, they were funny in that movie. Best villain went to Denzel Washington for Training Day.
Sure.
Yeah, the other nominees I didn't care about.
Bunch of orcs.
But yeah, basically. Oh, Christopher Lee was nominated. Best on-screen team went to Vin Diesel and Paul Walker for The Fast and the Furious, which I gotta say, they beat out some heavy hitters. I mean, Ben Stiller and Owen Wilson, Zoolander, the Shrek gang, the Rush Hour 2 gang, and the Ocean's 11 gang. All 11 of them were nominated and didn't make it.
Wow. 2001 was a good year.
Breakthrough female went to Mandy Moore for A Walk to Remember.
Ironically, I don't remember that walk.
It beat out Anne Hathaway for Princess Diaries, who I think had a bigger breakthrough. But hey. Breakthrough male went to Orlando Bloom for The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring.
Fair.
The only other one I can really see, he beat out Daniel Radcliffe for the first Harry Potter.
Oh, I mean, well, who could have known?
Best female.
Yeah, they thought they were only going to make one of those movies.
Yeah.
Best female performance went to Nicole Kidman for Moulin Rouge. Best male performance went to Will Smith for Ali, beating out Josh Hartnett for Pearl Harbor.
Guess that's fair.
You know, Pearl Harbor wins, Pearl Harbor loses.
Also beating out Vin Diesel for The Fast and the Furious. Sorry, Paul Walker. He didn't get nominated. The best movie, we know which one won, but The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring beat out Black Hawk Down, The Fast and the Furious, Legally Blonde, and Shrek. What do you guys think should have won?
The Fast and the Furious.
Wow, I think I would have to pick. I think I would have to pick Shrek, and not even.
Now, Shrek 2 is better than Shrek 1.
So Shrek is still better than these movies.
You think it's better than the first Fast and the Furious?
Yeah.
The Fast and the Furious.
The Fast and the Furious, which I would also say is better than Fast and Furious. I don't know why we're specifying.
The Fast, the Furious is better than Fast and the Furious.
Yeah, both of them.
But Shrek is better than both.
What?
I also would have rather watched that than The Lord of the Rings. I could have watched The Fast and the Furious 3 times.
Dylan, let's say you're bringing a girl over. You just went skiing. You met a girl on the slopes. You're bringing a girl home. What movie are you going to show her? The Fast and the Furious or Shrek?
The Fast and the Furious.
Oh, wow.
Wrong. Snow Days.
That wasn't an option. And it's Snow Day.
I want to see Dustin be like, I got snow days, and the girl just being like, it's snow day. Why are you saying just snow days?
Huh? Wow, I've watched it a bunch of times. I don't think I ever realized that.
You know what's even more awkward? Mike Myers presented the Best Movie Award, so he had to give away his losing trophy to someone.
I don't think I've ever heard of a nominee presenting an award.
Hey, at the MTV Movie Awards, they don't have anyone other than people who are nominated.
Fair.
Usually, other than
You can't just show up.
other than it's people to promote other stuff. From what I remember, the Scooby-Doo gang presented Best Kiss. That was fun.
Was Scooby-Doo there?
Scooby-Doo was not there. It was
Then it's not the game.
well, it was 3 of them. Give me a break.
The mystery team.
And Sarah Michelle Gellar hosted, so 4 of the 5 were there, dude.
It would have been pretty cool if Scooby-Doo hosted.
So should we get into the Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship of the Ring?
So many does.
I know 4 in total.
Others. The others.
There's only 2 of those.
Still alive.
Not if you get into Rise of the Planet of the Apes or Dawn
That's true.
of the Planet of the Apes. Then it's tied.
Yeah.
All right.
Battle it out.
So that's about it. That's about all I have to say.
Too many of those.
Too many of those.
Hurts my brain.
I think this is the first time I saw this movie. I saw Return of the King in theaters, and I know I've seen parts of this movie, but I think this is the first time I sat down and watched this movie the whole way through. Dylan, are you in the same boat as me?
I'm pretty sure I saw it in the theater, but I don't remember for sure.
Dustin?
Yeah, I've seen this movie a couple of times.
You're like the guy in the back of the bar, just like, huh? Yeah, I've seen that movie a couple times. Need to hire me?
Oh, you mean me? Oh, I've seen that movie a few times.
So should we start with you then, Dustin, the super mega fan over here? How do you feel about The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring?
Man. This movie was long as shit.
This was long as fuck.
I don't know if I've changed or if I had rose-colored glasses the first couple times I saw the movie.
I just want to say this movie is only 15 minutes longer than Endgame. Only an extra 15 minutes longer than Endgame.
Wow.
I think watching this movie, I think the biggest difference I recognize between this movie and Endgame and other movies like that is that this movie takes over the course of a film to set up what would normally now take 1 or 2 or 3 movies to set up. I mean, there's just so much backstory and so much world building in this movie it's honestly boring and frustrating.
Yeah, I think what this movie set out to do was to put as many people to sleep as they possibly could, and I think they nailed it, because I was struggling hard, man. Hard. I thought Gladiator was bad. This was hard. Oh my god. This was
We've been watching a little too many movies with people riding horses and speaking old English. I kind of want to switch it up.
To be honest, I feel like I had no problem with this movie up until the point to where they're all in that circle trying to figure out what to do with the ring. For some reason, as soon as that meeting ends is when I just started to be like, oh my god. As soon as they went on the adventure, as soon as the adventure really started with the whole gang, the Avengers got together and I fell asleep.
Yeah, there is a point, there is a while in the beginning where it feels like the pacing and everything is good and somewhat interesting. But yeah, then there's a part in the middle where it almost falls off. And then the movie feels like it just kind of ends. You know what this movie is? This movie is soup. I can't recognize a beginning, a middle, or an end to this. It's just all one the same. I can't if you were to be what happens in the middle of the movie? I'd be like, I don't know. They walked and then, what happened at the end? They were also walking and they ran into some trouble. And then some orcs came, but that was also kind of in the beginning, I think. But it's not because on a technical standpoint, this movie is, of course, good.
The orcs as a bad guy, I guess I would say. Obviously, Christopher Lee in Sauron is the main bad guy, but the orcs are the people they fight and are scared of most of the time, other than those black horses. The orcs are just so boring, in my opinion. It was just like, I don't know. It was just very boring. Like, I know they tried to create one mega bad orc. That way you had at least someone to focus on. Like, oh, they need to try to kill this big bad one. But it was just like, if they're just going to keep coming, like, I don't know how to explain it. It was just boring.
They spend so much time in this movie, like, developing, like, small, dumb shit. But yet the main adversary, at least a physical adversary of our group, is the orcs. And I literally Googled how the fucking orcs were made. And I can't tell you how many different opinions I found.
I thought Christopher Lee just made... Did Christopher Lee just not make them?
Is it meant to be up for interpretation?
No, it's not, because I finally found it. And what it is that the original orcs were developed by Sauron. He corrupted elves and turned them into orcs. So the orcs are like the small...
To be fair, they say that in the movie. I remember them saying they used to be elves. I don't remember them saying Sauron did it.
Correct. And then the Uruks, or Uruk eyes, they're like big boys. They were, that's still super unclear, and that's kind of up for, interpretation as to how Saruman like bred them. But it just keeps using the word bread in the book, which is like,
bread is a villain.
But I think the movie really concentrates a lot of time and energy on developing backgrounds and like world building on things I literally could not give a fuck about.
I mean, if you're into like fantasy, well, you are into fantasy and stuff, but I typically not. I have not seen. We have to watch more of these, but this is
yeah. We spoiler alert, we do have to watch more of these.
I know this will be so. Hopefully, it gets a little more interesting. Hopefully, this one's more just like set up, and then the other ones are like payoff. But
from what I hear, 2 is the worst one, so that's getting me scared. Obviously,
yeah,
3's like the best one. Everyone loves 3. So.
Yeah, that's one. Does that still hold the most Oscar wins?
I don't freaking know. This is an MTV Movie Award podcast.
It's the one that matters.
Yeah, we don't care.
Yeah, I guess I can't think of like a main antagonist for this movie.
It'd be Sauron.
I guess, but we saw him like once.
That's my main problem is I don't know who Sauron is. What's his deal? Obviously, he wants power over the world and whatnot. I just don't get how he works. Like, he can just make rings and hand them out to people, and it's just like, oh, here 9 people, you guys are powerful. Here,
maybe this trilogy is meant to be like a big picture thing, and you're not supposed to view just one part of it. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, this book is the Lord of the Rings books are, I think they're like the 3rd through 6th books in a series of books. Like, you've got the Hobbit books before Lord of the Rings books, and then you've got
the Hobbit's just one little book. The Hobbit's like the shortest book of them all.
Right, and then you've got like a bunch of books before the Hobbit and shit like that. And like, I'm lucky that like I've done a lot of research on this, and that
you're lucky.
Huh? You're
lucky that you got to read up on Lord of the Rings lore.
No, I'm lucky that like when I'm watching this movie, I'm not dumbfounded by every fucking. You know what it felt like? It felt like I was watching someone's D&D campaign.
That's exactly what this felt like. That's what I was going to say.
But without any of the fun shit.
Well, yeah. Okay. So there are some cool parts in this movie. And of course, like all the technical stuff, like the force perspective, all that stuff's pretty great. There is still some like wonky CG, but this movie's practically 20 years old now. But there's some cool, like there's some horror elements throughout that I thought were pretty neat.
Yeah, there's that jump scare kind of.
Yeah, that was cool. I like those guys in the black cloaks and their horses. They looked pretty cool. Whenever they were like hunting the town, I liked all that stuff. Was that
the Nazgul?
And then dude, you could have put a gun to my head. I would not gonna tell you what their name.
I knew they were like 9 men who were like dedicated to having power, and they got corrupted, right? They get like
you're right, Brett. Yeah, they're only the bad guys for the first hour.
They seem
what happened? Why did they go away?
And then they came back, I think.
No,
not yet.
Did they come back at the end?
I'm sure they come back in another movie, but I was like, these were
back with Liv Tyler.
No, that's where they ended. After they got to the elves and after they did the big meeting where they're like, let's go to Mount Doom. After that, we didn't see them ever again.
Yeah.
we hear them. We know. Oops. Oh, you're right. We know that like they're out there, but we don't see them.
Yeah, because Mr. Smith is like, you guys can't stay here because those Black Horse people are gonna be here. But yet we never see what happened to Liv Tyler. Did we even see what happened? Did I miss that?
No, you didn't miss anything.
She's like dropped him off.
Right?
Out.
No, she
was carrying him on the horse, and then she dropped him off to Kate Blanchett.
Not to Kate Blanchett. To
that scene was boring and weird. I don't like that.
She dropped them off there with her father, and then she like has one scene with Aragorn, and then like she's out.
Yeah, unfortunately there's just like I feel like a lot of, and I feel like we must be in the wrong. I feel like people love this movie. Maybe this is for us.
It won the best movie. Like this was voted on by the people. So
people love these movies. So maybe it's not something we're getting, but there
are extended
so many scenes of like Frodo being like, "I have the ring," and he keeps having these long scenes and moments of people. That's almost the same interaction. It's like someone being tempted by the ring, and then like more story about how the ring's messed up and messes everyone up. So you have like one with Kate Blanchett, you have like one or two with Sean Bean, one with Viggo Mortensen. And that's another thing too, unfortunately. I feel like all of our main protagonists, other than their physical appearances, like there's a dwarf, right? Dwarf one. I guess none of them have any personality other than like Pippin, who's like goofy, he keeps messing everything up. Everyone, there's no like defining factor, I guess, in their personalities. Like with Star Wars, like Han Solo is a character.
Yeah, he's the white one.
He's and then you have Princess Leia. Like they're all
the
like
white
these,
one.
Yeah. They're all like these defined characters with like certain individual traits. Unfortunately, with this, for me at least, it seems like they're all sort of like Sean Bean and Viggo Mortensen basically are the same character in my brain.
They're very hard to tell apart. But I kind of wish this movie was like about them trying to destroy the ring, obviously, and basically Frodo having to worry about his whole crew turning against him, which does happen slightly. But if that was the whole movie, if like this was like kind of, I guess I want to change this movie completely. If this was like more of like a suspense, like, oh no, any of my people will turn on me and it's not their choice, they're being taken over by the power.
This movie should be like the movie SWAT. You remember the movie SWAT?
No.
When they have to transport the bad guy and he says that he'll pay someone, I don't know, like $30 million to break him out. So now like everyone is trying to like kill the SWAT team, and then people in the SWAT team wondering if they're going to turn on each other.
Sounds like a good movie.
It's okay.
I don't know. This movie was just so boring to me. That's like the best word I could describe, which is, it sucks because it's coming off the Gladiator one where I thought the same thing. But this was like Gladiator times 3. It was just like, oh my God, this is so grueling.
Yeah, it's like, it's one of those, Dustin paused it and it was like at an hour and a half. And it's like the ball had just gotten rolling, when this is like where most movies kind of end, is like at the 90-minute mark. And then we paused at like the 2 hour 15-minute mark, and it was like, yeah, this feels like it's been 2 hours and 15 minutes. Like, so it has a long length, and it feels like.
The question is, are you guys going to watch the extended cut of this movie?
No. How long is that?
I really don't know. I'm assuming 3 hours 45 minutes, but I don't know.
Shit.
I don't know about that.
I'm also just not I come under the bias of like not liking things like Game of Thrones, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings. So when I watch these things, there is sort of like, it takes a lot for me to want to like connect with it.
I have to say, we didn't mention this during the Scream one, but Katie is really good at like picking out where the director cameo is. She doesn't know what any of these directors look like, but when it happened in Scream, when you see Wes Craven, she's like, oh, that's the director, isn't it? And then when you see Peter Jackson in this movie, you only see him for a second. He's just kind of
eating a carrot, right?
He's just kind of like,
in the middle of the rain.
He's just like, and Katie's just like, oh, that's probably the director. Like, I don't know why. she should be on the Avengers, where her power
should be on the Avengers.
Her power is to figure out where the director cameo is.
Huh.
I'm going to make her watch.
If the director has like the Infinity Rings, and
Infinity Stones.
Shut up.
I'm going to make her watch all of Michael Bay movies, because he's in all of his own movies except Transformers 2. I don't think he's in. And I'll make her watch Hitchcock movies. Who else has?
That's not gonna be very hard.
Quentin Tarantino usually has cameos.
Yeah.
Did you guys have anything more you want to say about the Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship of the Ring?
I think it's really, we've been like kind of been at least down on ourselves that like this movie's very boring, and like it sucks that it is that we feel that it's boring. But I think that's also because this movie's almost 20 years old, and we've seen so many movies that have come like the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I don't think it could exist without this movie and without this series, because before this, the only thing that was anything like it was Star Wars. And so I think without those two series of movies, we couldn't have this new stuff. And this new stuff, I think, does what this is trying to do, like build a cinematic universe. It does it 10 times better, in my opinion. Whether or not they're just like bland, I know all the Marvel movies are just bland, gray messes, but at least like they keep me engaged, and they're not 3 hours long.
Well, they are. Some of them are.
Yeah, well, Endgame was.
And the ones that are 3 hours long, they're earned.
Oh yeah.
Like,
and they don't feel 3 hours long.
I think I would. This is probably something said all over the place. I think I would much rather this as a mini series.
Yeah,
this would have been a great. Okay, are they? Because this would have been a great. Yeah, I think I would much rather watch this because I feel like not only is it so long, but I also felt like I was missing stuff. I'm like, how is this movie so long? And I feel
like I was missing stuff too, and I was really paying. Like I wasn't really on my phone. I wasn't fucking around. Like I was really paying attention, and even then, I felt like things were going over my head, and I'm
like, they're going into so much detail, but I'm still out of the loop. I'm like,
exactly, yeah.
It was weird.
And then, like, you could say like, oh well, this movie's taking its time building characters and not just having action for 3 hours, but like I mentioned earlier, there's really nothing about these characters that stand out individually, other than like one's the main character, one's like, a dwarf, So
we really should have caption on here, because at one point when Gandalf grabs Merry and Pippin and he says their names, I was like, did he just fucking say gibberish? Like I don't know what he just said.
And there's a few times where they're like, what'd you just say?
It was weird because spoilers, the big scene where Gandalf dies or doesn't die, whatever the hell happens to him. When that happens, I like felt nothing. I was just like, I don't know. I was
like, yeah, exactly.
I know it's a big moment and I know it's like epic that he said, you shall not pass. But I'm like, you got wizard powers. Do something else. Just put him in a bubble or something. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe they didn't. I guess at least for me, they didn't spend enough time making us love that character. I mean, I like it when they're in the Shire in the beginning. I thought that was fun. And there's also some strange editing choices throughout this whole movie.
They use like an iPhone shot. It feels like an iPhone shot of Mr. Smith.
Hugo Weaving.
Yeah, Hugo Weaving.
Oh yeah, you see like his face floating, and it's like someone took it. So we laughed so hard.
I honestly don't remember that, but.
It's the shot where Frodo first starts waking up.
Oh yeah, okay.
And it's just the perspective. It's like they took like a portrait lens and they put it right to his face, like so his nose is big.
It's like that weird 11:1 ratio or whatever it is that makes everyone look ugly.
I got you.
And I was like, why did they do this?
And there's like a part I rewound it and showed Dustin where there's like orcs and the boats trying to outrun the orcs, and the orcs are catching up with the boats, but they like keep fading in and out of one another like orcs. It was like it was very funny. But on top of that, there's so many like technically great things about this.
Oh yeah.
When I see movies like this, like they made 3 of these 3.5 hour long movies with such giant production and cost so much money. I'm like, it's almost insane to think like.
And they did it all at once.
Yeah. How did someone do this? Like it's insane. But
it was funny because they kept winning a lot of the awards at the MTV movie. Well, they won 2, but they weren't there to accept any of them because they were filming the movie. So
that's funny.
That 2002 MTV Movie Awards, a lot of the winners weren't there. Denzel Washington wasn't there. What
was his excuse?
He was filming Lord of the Rings too.
Okay.
He was a gaffer. I say let's get into the next movie, or should I say the next award ceremony first?
Yeah.
Let's talk about the 2017 MTV Movie and TV Awards.
This is the first one?
This was the first year they officially became the MTV Movie and TV Awards. Not only that, the ceremony was preceded by the Movie and Television Festival. Whatever that means.
For MTV?
I don't know.
Okay.
This was hosted by Adam Devine. Is that how you say it? Right? Devine? Not Devine?
He is Divine.
I think I remember watching this.
Okay.
Just saying.
Sick brag, bro. This was really hard to find on YouTube. I guess MTV was like, There's like, you can't find clips of it. You can find people talking about it. So I had to watch it on some Daily Motion video, and it was all mirrored, and the audio was slightly pitched up. So I might not have the best review of this. But this was the first time, at least in my knowledge, I don't know if this happened before, they didn't really do any movie parodies at all. They didn't go inside of a movie.
Oh.
It opens with a musical number where he's playing the Beast from a special movie you guys might have heard of. That's pretty fun. It's kind of funny. The whole bit is that the only thing I really liked is they parodied Beauty and the Beast with movies and TV. It kind of fit pretty well. But the whole bit is that the stage keeps catching on fire and everything keeps going wrong, and he just wants to get it done. I'm trying to think they introduced some celebrity as the candlestick, and I didn't recognize the name at all. And then he starts talking, and I'm like, who is this person? So some celebrity was completely lost on me, though. And then they said we need a beauty, and Haley Steinfeld comes out, and she's in the dress. You should watch the clip because she's pretty stunning in that dress, and it even cuts.
We'll be right back.
It even cuts to Emma Watson. You can see Emma Watson looks like a very nice person, but she's just like, oh my god, she's so cute. She's being very supportive. I thought that was good.
Bitch took my look.
The only other thing I can think of is every time they talked about the movie of the year, they kind of did it sporadically. Like they said the nominee sporadically throughout the show. Sometimes the Oscars does that too. But they made a trailer for each movie, and they did that thing where they re-edit the trailer to make it look like a different genre. The only one I really liked is they make Logan look like just like an indie road trip movie about a guy dealing with his daughter that he's not being a good dad. It was pretty well cut. So let's get into the show a little bit. The show, Noah Cyrus sang "Stay Together," which is Miley Cyrus's younger sister.
Yeah.
Pitbull and J Balvin featuring Camila Cabello saying "Hey Ma."
Okay, sure.
Big Sean.
I believe you.
Big Sean saying "Jump out the window."
Ooh. Are you making this up? He's saying "Jump out the window."
Jump out the window.
One Direction saying "Here's my car."
In case you're wondering, the house DJ was DJ Nasty. So that DJ Nasty.
Is this a character?
Portrayed by Brad Pitt.
I don't know who it was. Okay, so let's get into it. The MTV Generation Award went to the Fast and Furious franchise.
Great.
What movie?
Full circle.
What movie came out in 2017? Which one were they been celebrating?
That was Fate of the Furious.
Huh.
So that's interesting. The one that for Lord of the Rings that we just talked about, that was the first movie.
I know, right?
Circle.
But it's not the last movie, so it's not a circle. We've almost completed this.
No, it's a full circle.
Okay.
It's getting lighter.
So, best musical moment. I just want to say that the movie we're going to be talking about is a musical. But yet, best musical moment went to "You're the One That I Want" from Grease Live.
Wow. I loved Grease Live.
Oh, with Vanessa Hudgens.
Sure, it didn't say anything. But it also beat out "You Can't Stop the Beat" from Hairspray Live.
I did not like Hairspray.
I don't know. And then other movies.
I think that was a Fox one.
I'm not sure how this is a category, but trending, not
Correct.
best trending, not most trending, just trending, went to "Run the World," Girls. You might think it was Beyonce, but no. It was Channing Tatum on the lip sync battle show.
I hate that.
Lame. I don't like this.
Dude, that's trending, dude.
Awful.
But that beat out the "Cash Me Outside, How About That" girl.
Good.
I think that should have won.
It also beat.
She has already.
It also beat Winona Ryder's winning SAG Awards reaction.
That should have won. There's some high quality gifs and memes in there.
Okay, best American story went to Blackish.
These categories are getting weird.
Oh,
It's a dog with no arms.
it gets weirder.
Every dog.
It gets weirder. Best fight against the system went to Hidden Figures.
Well, you can definitely tell what's happening here.
It beat out Get Out, Loving. What's Loving? I don't know what Loving is.
Exactly.
Luke Cage and Mr. Robot, which Mr. Robot is best fight against the system. I don't know.
Yeah.
Next Generation. You guys are going to have to help me with this. I'm not great at pronouncing names. Next Generation went to Danielle Kaluuya from Get Out.
Oh, Daniel Kaluuya.
Did I say Danielle? Daniel how do you say it?
Kaluuya.
Kaluuya. Okay.
Kaluuya.
It went to him. Best Duo went to Hugh Jackman and Daphne Keane for Logan.
Yep.
Sorry, Dylan, but it did beat out Adam Levine and Blake Sheldon for The Voice.
Oh, okay.
Best Host went to Trevor Noah for The Daily Show.
Not the host of the show.
Okay.
Well, he can't be nominated yet. I like when they don't put best. This is just Tearjerker. Tearjerker went to Jack and Randall at Karate.
At what?
What did you just say?
Jack and Randall at Karate from This Is Us, which apparently was very sad.
How can karate be sad? It's only get kicked to death.
I'm sure, knowing This Is Us, I'm sure it was a very sad moment. Best documentary went to 13th.
You mean 13 going on 30? No, 13.
Yes, I'm sorry. It went to 13 going on 30. Best reality competition should have went to Survivor, but it went to RuPaul's Drag Race. Survivor wasn't even nominated. Best villain went to Jeffrey Dean Morgan for The Walking Dead.
Cool.
I'm trying to think of... It beat out Jared Leto for Suicide Squad and the Demogorgon from Stranger Things.
Who would have accepted it?
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Best kiss went to... Oh boy. Ashton Sanders and Gerald Jermone for Moonlight.
Oh, okay.
Beat out Emma Watson, Dan Stevens, also Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling. Those are probably the only two good ones. All right, best comedic performance went to Lil Ray Howery for Get Out.
Okay.
Beating out, this is very funny to me for some reason, beating out Seth MacFarlane for Family Guy. Why is Family Guy nominated in 2017?
I know, that's so random.
Best hero went to Taraji P. Henson for Hidden Figures.
Okay.
There was a funny line from the opening where Adam Devine was like, Who's going to be the big winner tonight? Is it going to be Taraji P. Henson from TV or Taraji P. Henson from movies? I thought that was very funny because there's a lot of Empire nominated.
Oh, that's right.
Best actor in a movie. Oh, this was the first year they went non-gendered or gender neutral, whatever you want to say. Best actor in a movie went to Emma Watson for Beauty and the Beast.
Okay.
I'm sure you would have picked Haley Steinfeld for Edge of 17.
I would have.
And Dylan, I'm sure you would have picked Hugh Jackman for Logan or James McAvoy for Split.
I would say James McAvoy for Split.
I was talking to Dylan. Best.
Yeah. I'll pick
Okay, podcast over. We're just gonna, here we go. Stop video.
Wow. Best actor in a show went to Millie Bobby Brown for Stranger Things.
Love to see it.
Show of the year went to Stranger Things.
Love it.
And movie of the year went to Beauty and the Beast, beating out The Edge of 17, Get Out, Logan, and Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. Any opinion there?
I definitely would have chose either Get Out, Logan, or Rogue One.
So this is your number 4?
Get Out.
I've never seen Edge of 17.
Oh.
Technically, it's my bottom.
I like Edge of 17. I thought that was good. But
I like Edge of Tomorrow.
I probably would have picked Logan over this. But hey, who's we to say Beauty and the Beast is one of the best movies of all time.
Hey, it's one of the best movies of all time. We can't argue with
I
that.
can't argue with that. So let's
That's fact.
get into the movie Beauty and the Beast.
This was a tough week. I'll say that.
Tough for you. This is our spoiler alert. This is our only musical in the whole tournament, and I love me a musical.
So this means it's the best musical of all time.
Yeah, I guess so. This is the best musical of all time.
Wow.
I had to say, I don't have a special place in my heart for the original Beauty and the Beast. I know Katie likes it, and Katie likes this movie a lot. I had to say, I don't mind this movie. I think I rather like this movie.
Yeah, I didn't mind it.
Brody's barking off a storm right now. But I like the songs. I like Dan Stevens a lot. I like Emma Watson.
Yeah.
Ewan McGregor's cool. What's not to like? This is our second Stanley Tucci. So we got Bradley Coop going 2 times on our charts, and now Stanley Tucci is 2 times on our charts. Very fun.
What was the last Tooch?
Hunger Games. Catching Fire.
I mean, yeah, no, it was fine. I like the original way more. I love the original one.
Huh. I think I would pick. I think this is obviously the better movie because it's on the charts. But I think I would pick the live action over the original because I think I like Evermore. Is that the name of the song?
Yeah, Evermore.
Evermore. Yeah. I like that song a lot.
Is that the original song?
No, yeah, it's the original song.
There's a couple originals on this.
Yeah. Not enough Dan Stevens.
Yeah. I want to see more of him. But
he's the best.
He is the best. Watch The Guest. That's a great movie.
I know, The Guest is amazing.
And Legion.
Yeah, I just wish I knew it was him underneath the CGI and everything. Like, there's nothing that I could like see through. Like, oh, that's.
You can't hear it in his voice.
I mean, a little bit, but Emma Watson was good though. Yeah, she surprised me. I thought she was really great. And Josh Gad, they're probably both. I liked him a lot.
Yeah, I heard Dustin walked out of the theater when they revealed he was gay at the end.
I did. I ran up to the theater that I worked at, and I demanded my money back when I didn't pay, and then that's how I lost my job.
See, you know what Dylan and I did? We walked out, went to the box office, and we wanted to pay double, and we got our rainbow flags out.
And you're the problem.
Wait.
No, we're allies. Yeah,
That's a joke. That's all a joke.
There's I guess there's not too much to say about this movie.
I have some stuff to say.
I think that's his problem.
I have some stuff to say about this movie.
Say it.
1, I like the songs. 2, this is very personal, but my hue lights are able to sync to this movie, so that's very fun for me. I like the way this movie looks, though there is some debate. So most of this movie is not shot for shot from the original, but there's a couple sequences that are. One is Be My Guest. That is almost a shot for shot recreation of the original movie. There's like this big debate of like, well, do you credit the original animators and pay them for this? Because yes, these people are working hard to recreate it, but they're not being creative. Like they're not putting their heart into it. They're just copying something they saw and they're just remastering it. So this started this whole big debate about these Disney live action movies. Like, when are you going to start to pay the original animators? I thought that was an interesting debate.
Yeah.
That being said, I love to Be My Guest scene. It's probably my favorite scene in the movie. It's very fun. I didn't know. I guess I did know Ewan McGregor could sing that good because I've seen Moulin Rouge. But I really like the Evermore part. What are you doing, Dustin?
I'm just listening.
He's running up his shirt.
The only part I don't really like, which wasn't in the original, is when they don't time travel. They teleport to Emma. To Emma.
I did like that sequence.
You did like it. I didn't like it.
Because it was something new. I like that they were bringing something different.
I don't know. I just wish they could have explored her backstory a different way. I don't know why they had to introduce this teleporting thing. Why didn't they just teleport to the town and like get her dad or something?
Female protagonists who want to know who their parents are. You got Belle. You got Ray. That's all I can think of right now. No, I like you know what else? I didn't know Kevin Kline was in this movie, so I was like kind of thrilled when I saw him.
You were thrilled. Oh, I forgot you have a Kevin Kline poster in your bedroom.
I do.
Didn't Dustin walk out when he found out it wasn't Kevin Spacey?
Yeah, and then I was even more pissed when I found out Kevin Kline played a gay guy in a different movie. I was
In a different.
They brought you down like a spiral.
yeah, I was just so mad. I mean, that
I'm
movie-
sure everyone in this movie has played a gay person in another movie.
What?
I'm sure. It's funny. It's funny how that Lafleur part. Lafleur, how that started controversy in China. I mean, all he does is dance with a guy for like a second, and you can,
he gives him the look.
yeah, you can see that he's happy. You can see he was like, ooh, but like,
He gives Gaston the looks throughout the movie.
it's very funny how that caused China to be like, no.
No way, Jose.
I guess Dylan's right. I guess I don't have too much to say about this movie.
I guess I'm just more in that camp. Well, you said I think you thought it looked great. I thought the movie looked kind of boring, like flat. I don't know. It just wasn't visually stimulating to look at.
I've never seen the original, and I saw this movie like I said, I worked at a theater when this movie came out, and I saw it in Dolby the night it came out, and fuck, this movie, I love this movie. I listen to the soundtrack all.
Then why are you being so quiet? You act like you don't want to talk about this.
Because you guys have been talking this whole time. So I've been letting you talk, and I've been letting you talk.
Pitch in.
I'm letting you talk. I just love this movie. I don't really have anything to say about it because it's just like I love the music. It's so fun. I think the performances are fantastic.
Yeah.
I think that visually the movie is I find it to be very interesting, and I think Dan Stevens.
He looked like a dork with long hair. I'll say that.
She did look.
It didn't look supernatural, but
Supernatural. I guess it just didn't really. I don't know. I can't really. I don't think it's fair because I love this movie because I saw this one in theater.
we're here to talk about the movies we like, so I think it's perfectly
it's
fair.
like I don't know what to say about it other than like the music. Every time I hear the music, I get chills up my fucking spine. I think the score. I think the score was so good.
You'll love the original.
I probably won't because I love this one too much. It's like going back and
Yeah, I think I like this one a lot more than the original, which I don't have Disney nostalgia that much. I didn't watch these movies on repeat when I was younger.
Oh, no, we didn't mention Luke Evans. I think Luke Evans was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
As Gaston.
Everyone's great.
Gaston is one of my favorite characters to meet at Disney World. I don't like meeting most of the characters, especially ones that talk, because I'm like, what are we going to talk about? Like, I don't know. I don't want to talk to you. But Gaston is super funny, though I would hate to be him because he's constantly doing push-ups. Like, he's always doing push-ups at Disney World. So I'm sorry for anyone who has to play Gaston in Disney World. But he's always super funny. He's always looking in mirrors and stuff. It's very funny. I guess I have a couple small nitpicky stuff with this movie, but I feel like I have that with every Disney movie. I think, what's his name? He doesn't even have a name in the movie, but I think the Beast. I think Disney people.
Didn't they say his name was Gus?
No, it's like
it's Adam. In Disney, in like headcanon, I believe it's Adam. They might say it in some sequel to but I don't believe they say it in the movie at all. But at the beginning of the movie, he's having a party with his. I'm not even sure they're his friends. I'm assuming he paid them to come there, right? He's just doing what he wants. This lady barges into his house and is just like, "Let me stay here," and he's just like, "No," and she's just like, "Well, fuck you." And also, not only fuck you, but fuck this little kid and his dad. Like, the dad misses his. Well, I guess he gets to see the.
He doesn't miss.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying he misses emotionally, but the son missed years with his dad, is what I'm saying. And the dad, like, this is like, why torture that dad? Because really, this guy didn't want you at a party.
They kind of got screwed for no reason.
That part.
It's not like they were like jaded as well and vain as much as he was.
It bugs me to no reason, and it's weird that they say in the voiceover, like, He cast her out because she was ugly and old, but little did he know she was a beautiful enchantress. But I'm like, hey, just because you look good on the outside doesn't mean you're a beautiful person. She just imprisoned this child for so many years as a teacup. You're not a beautiful person. She probably doesn't return carts at grocery stores, and she probably doesn't wear a dang mask when she goes out in public. I don't like this enchantress, and I don't like how at the end of the movie she's the good guy just because it's like, well, I guess I fixed it, even though I made these rules based off of the stupidest thing ever. I don't know.
Someone should beastly her.
I think I might be making like a logical leap, but there's a good line at one point in the movie where they ask why Belle asks, I think Mrs. Potts, why they never tried to leave or tried to like get out of there. And Miss Potts says that like it's their fault that they failed Beast a long time ago because they all worked there and they were a huge part of the kid's life, and they let his father corrupt him and turn him into this shitty little fuck.
Sounds like they're blaming themselves for something that's not their fault.
Well, I think they're trying to make a statement on the fact that, like, while we may not be at fault, we may not be 100% at fault with the things that happen around us, we are at times can be considered complicit in acts of like child abuse and stuff like that. Although she did commit child abuse by making a fucking tea kettle, but I think that's the statement they were trying to make. I don't think they made it very well, but
it's just that enchantress pisses me off. I think it was because when she walks in at the end of the movie, like she's like the good guy, like, all right, I'm gonna put everything back. It's just like, what? Why? At least, why don't you just make the beasts turn into a statue or something? Why make them everyone?
Also, she stays in town and keeps begging, and it's like, are you going to beast other people? Like, what are you doing?
Maybe,
yeah, same person.
Oh.
Maybe use your powers for good or something. Go
the Avengers.
Go cure a plague or whatever you could do with your powers. Stop.
No, she needs to teach
She's just
people
being
lessons.
petty.
Yeah, petty bitch.
But she could teach him a.
Here's the thing: no matter what way I would have thought about either movie, if I loved Lord of the Rings, I was going to pick this one because it's an hour shorter.
100%.
That's against the rules, I think. You guys need to be
sorry.
You guys need to be picking what you think is the best movie. But I just want to warn you, we have a lot of 3-hour long movies on this.
I know.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I'm not a huge fan of either. I'm not like jumping over the rails. Is that the term for either? But
wait, you're not jumping over the rails?
Yeah, I'm not jumping over the rails with excitement for either movie. But I'd probably choose Beauty and the Beast. It kept me a little more engaged and interested, and I like the original, even though I think it's kind of bland and creatively bankrupt. I enjoyed this just a little bit more.
What's your guys' opinions on these live action remakes in general?
Money.
Yeah.
Do you like them? Do you care? Do you want
This is the first one I've seen. I just don't care. I'd just rather watch the original.
I think it's devoid of any sense of creativity. But then I watched this one and I was like, fuck, I loved this.
I guess we can't talk about it yet, but with Mulan coming out and them making it a non-musical, I think maybe we're starting to move into the right direction of like, hey, maybe tell the story you want to tell. Take this as a template and start doing stop doing these shot for shot recreations.
I'd rather them tell a different version of the story.
It is funny. It is funny that Aladdin is what kind of started this train with. I think they just out of necessity because they couldn't get a Robin Williams, so they needed to put their own spin on it. And Aladdin, I haven't seen it, but it was pretty popular, and people actually ended up liking the Will Smith character.
But I never saw Jungle Book. Never saw Lion King.
It didn't seem like people liked Lion King. It seemed to have.
I've heard, the
mix.
I'm not a big fan of the original Lion King. I know that's like a cardinal sin, but
a sin against cardinals.
Yes. So Dylan, your vote is locked in for Beauty and the Beast. I'm gonna vote. I'll let Dustin vote.
Do you think your vote is controversial? Because I think this is a landslide win for me. Because I love. Well, first off, I like Lord of the Rings. Like I said, I've seen it a few times, but I love Beauty and the Beast. And while its time span shouldn't be a big part of what I'm choosing, I tell you right now, I was way more engaged watching Beauty and the Beast, having way more fun. It was more exciting, more engaging than when I was watching Lord of the Rings. I was going through 15 to 30-minute periods of being interested and then just being completely uninterested. It just waves throughout the whole time. So I'm going to say Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
It's a better movie.
I feel like it's funny because I feel like you like Lord of the Rings the most out of all of us. But it still didn't win for you. I thought maybe Dylan would have put in a vote for Lord of the Rings, but yeah, my vote obviously is for Beauty and the Beast. Lord of the Rings is just so boring.
If Lord of the Rings was an hour shorter, I'd vote for that.
Oh, 100%.
It would have to be an hour and a half shorter for me.
Also, I think while technically it is very well made, I think it's incredibly poorly edited. I think there are so many edits in that film that I just disagree with on such a fundamental level.
Are you going to do a fan edit?
I would
do a Topher Grace style.
I was going to say Topher Grace. I'm pretty sure Topher Grace has done a fan edit of our.
Yeah,
I mean, he edited the prequels of Star Wars.
He's done other stuff too, but
really?
Yeah, he's done a lot of fan edits.
But I guess, I mean, if anything, it just made me kind of excited for a miniseries. So I guess that's good. But at the same time, I tried to get into Game of Thrones and I couldn't. So
did you guys happen to watch The Hobbit?
No.
I watched the first one in theaters because I was curious about the 48 frames.
If you thought this movie was boring, holy shit, The Hobbit is boring.
Dude, at least The Hobbit has a plate song and a plate song.
Can you explain?
The hobbits come into Bilbo Baggins' house. The dwarves. What did I say?
The Hobbit.
Sorry. The dwarves come into Bilbo Baggins' house uninvited, right? Mm-hmm. He's just like, get out of my house, like they're Flubber or something. Or
the lady from Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
And so they just start throwing CGI plates around because they're getting ready for dinner, and they're very CGI. And they're throwing CGI plates, and they're singing a song like "Give me a plate, give me a plate." I don't know what they're singing, but
give me a plate, give me a plate, give me up a plate of that plate.
They obviously comments.
This Kit Kat fire song.
Kit Kat away. It's Middle Earth thing.
But I watched the first one in theaters because I was curious to see if the 48 frames per second would take off. I didn't throw up, but it did not look. It looked too natural. That was like the biggest complaint, right? It looked less movie-like. So
I feel like every movie that comes out in 4K just doesn't work. They've done like 4 times now.
I'm not talking about 4K. I'm talking about 48 frames per second.
I'm sorry, 48 frames.
I feel like only one movie's ever done that, and that was The Hobbit.
Life of Pi did it. The Hobbit did it.
Life of Pi came out. Legally Blonde did it. What?
No, The Lovely Bones.
I think half of
Legally Blonde. That would be fine.
Yeah, Ang Lee's movies have like weird.
And
Gemini Man. Yeah, Gemini Man had.
They came out but that couldn't. That only came out in like 2 theaters or something, didn't it?
No, Gemini Man came out.
No, the 48 frames per second only came out in like so many theaters.
No, if I remember correctly, Gemini Man has 3 different frame rates. So it had like a special high frame rate, and then it had a slightly higher frame rate. I think it was around like 32 or something. And that's what it was supposed to be shown in. But a lot of auditoriums are just still going to show it at 24.
I don't know.
We don't have to watch Gemini Man.
Yeah. Let's give it all a round of applause for not watching
Have
Gemini
you seen
Man.
the one shot in Gemini Man?
Yeah.
It's a digital one shot, but it's still cool nonetheless.
Yeah.
Okay, so that means my vote was for Beauty and the Beast. Pay attention.
I don't think you officially announced it.
He kind of said it underneath his breath.
What? No, I didn't. I said my vote was for Beauty and the Beast. I said my vote is for Beauty and the Beast. Beauty and the Beast is moving on to round 2. So let me tell you guys what you're watching next week on Best of the Best Movie.
Can you give us a hint?
Let's say get your slap bracelets out. Get your Dunkaroos open. Get
another 90s week.
Yeah. Turn off all that. Again, turn off Keenan and Kel. Turn off Amanda's show. Turn off Real Monster.
Any other channel.
Get off the phone. I'm trying to use the dial-up.
It's a 90s week. These movies are 2 years apart. So, nope. I don't know why I said 2 years. They're 1 year apart. I'm good at counting. Okay. Wait, is that right? Hold on. Give me a second.
1 + 1
Yep, these are back to back. So from 1995, not from it, but it won in 1995.
Yeah.
We're talking about Quentin Tarantino's Pulp Fiction, baby.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like it.
And that's going against 1996's winner, S7N.
Ooh. This is gonna be the toughest one yet.
This is the week we were waiting for.
I don't want to. We're not talking.
the
We're not talking about the movies yet, so I don't want to spoil it. But this one of these movies does contain Dustin's Hero, and the other movie was produced by Dylan's Hero. Which sadly, a lot of the movies we've talked about in the past have been produced by Dylan's Hero. So
That's fine. He produced the Lord of the Rings.
yeah, and Scream, and what else did he do? He did
I will say one of my favorite things is at the beginning of Lord of the Rings, the New Line Cinema logo came up and it said an AOL Time Warner Company. I was like, holy crap.
Next week might be the first one where it's not unanimous.
Off topic, but when you guys see the New Line Cinemas logo, what movie do you think of?
Me?
Yeah. This is
New Line.
This is a weird thing, but certain studios trigger certain things in my mind.
For New Line, I think of
I can't.
I think of Free Willy.
I always think of Austin Powers. I don't know why.
Okay.
Specifically the third one. And
Yeah, I'm not very good with companies.
yeah, there's just like specific ones in my head. Like 20th Century Fox always trigger the first X-Men in my head for some reason. And Warner Brothers, even though I'm not like a huge fan of these movies, it's always Harry Potter, which is. And then I don't know what other ones.
I'm excited for next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is,
And I own both of them on Blu-ray, so we don't need to buy them.
Pulp Fiction versus Seven.
This year.
Wow. I haven't seen Seven since like high school. I watched it in high school because it's like one of those movies you have to watch. So I'm excited to revisit. I haven't seen Pulp Fiction in a while. I'm sure Katie's gonna be bummed about. Katie watches all the movies with me. I'm sure she's gonna be bummed about these.
Great week for us, bad week for your wife.
Yeah. She's gonna love Seven.
She had a good week with Beauty and the Beast. So
Especially in a particular scene, which involves having sex with a woman.
Yeah, there's a trigger warning for that movie. So
are we talking about Pulp Fiction or Seven?
7.
Oh, okay. Because there are trigger warnings for Pulp Fiction too.
I think they're a little bit more severe for Seven.
We'll save this for the pod.
Pulp Fiction has a good.
We're getting ahead of ourselves, but it sounds like a juicy argument.
Which rape scene was worse?
Or more entertaining.
Guys, we'll see you next time for Pulp Fiction versus Seven. See you later. Bye.
Bye.